Hi everybody, I'm Tim Wilcox from Sunny King Toyota, Anniston, Alabama. I want to say thank you for taking time out of your day to come down and talk with us about we've got the all-new 2012 Toyota Prius. This is the Model 2 I'm going to be talking with you about, and obviously I've got the hood up already. We're ready to get started. I'm going to start with the engine, talk about power a little bit. If you come on over and zoom into the engine a little bit, you're going to see it's this hybrid synergy drive across the center. The Toyota Prius has a 1.8-liter, 4-cylinder, 16-valve engine. Nets out with the electric motor and everything else included, 134 horsepower. Obviously, we talk about the Prius and people talk about gas savings. You're going to be looking at about 51 miles per gallon in the city and 48 miles per gallon on the highway, which nets out at 50 on average. Cars.com this year did a survey. Did a test looking at all the different models that are out there, and the average mid-size car gets 20 miles per gallon combined. The average compact car gets 22 miles per gallon combined. So for a second, I want you to try to wrap your head around these numbers. If you have, let's just keep the math easy, we're just going to say if you have a car that has a 12-gallon tank and you're averaging 30 miles per gallon more than a compact car or a mid-size car on a tank of gas, the Toyota Prius would be able to go 360 miles further than that mid-size car of the competitor or whatever else it is that you're looking at. In most cases, that you're going to be able to drive on 2.5 tanks compared to the competitor. 30 miles per gallon, when you really think about that, what you're going to save. Just to give you an idea, on a Toyota Prius, you're looking at about an annual cost of a little over $1,000 in gas. Most people, probably spend close to $1,000 a month on the car that they're driving now. So that's one of the benefits of the Toyota Prius. And everybody asks themselves, well, how do they do it? There's a couple of different ways that we do it. One's with an electric hybrid battery and electric motor that we're going to use. If you kind of look in, I'm going to talk about a piece here. To keep it simple, we're going to talk about the converter. And you'll see these orange cables that go into the car. The hybrid battery and the electric motor are going to send energy and electric power into the converter, which is going to change it into usable energy that the car can use in the engine. And that's how we're going to be able to power it. Just to kind of keep it simple, when you look at the technology, and a lot of people ask themselves, well, why can't other cars get it? And the Toyota's technology is just that far advanced, okay? We're going to walk around the side here for a little bit. Check out some other features on the car. I want everybody to kind of take an idea, and I don't know if you can see it well. We're going to look at just the regular aerodynamics of the vehicle, and you kind of see how it comes over in the shape of the car. Part of that is that we want there to be as little drag as possible. So the aerodynamics on the Prius are unbelievable, and it's something that Toyota puts a lot of effort into. And then the other thing you're going to notice is how high the car is. We want to make sure that we've got a lot of height for somebody who's going to be sitting inside. So if you roll around here for a second, try to get an idea. You're going to see the very low step over. Prius is very easy to get into. I'm going to slide in, and I'm not the tallest guy in the world, but if you look, I've got plenty of room in front of me. A lot of leg space. I don't have the seat all the way back. In about 2 seconds, I'm going to jump in the back, give you an idea what that looks like. Another thing we want to show you, pops it open. We've got two different glove boxes here. Both of these open up. We don't want you to have clutter all over your car. A lot of people that drive Priuses, just like you and me, like to have a nice clean car. Another feature I wanted to show you while I was standing here. I'm going to jump out for a second and jump back into the back seat, just so you know I'm not pulling the seat all the way back, so you can see a lot of space back there. Same thing, jump in the back seat, slide in. You're going to notice a ton of different room, and one of the reasons is that the seat's contorted here to create extra room for your legs, and then at the bottom you'll notice the seat's actually not just mounted to the floor, it's mounted to the sides as well, so my feet can actually slide under, which is going to create extra space. Since I'm sitting here, another thing that I want to talk about is the headrest. Now, if you've test driven a few other cars, a lot of people when they're shopping, they go around, drive a couple different vehicles. One thing you probably noticed driving the competition is that when you sat back in the seat, the way the headrest was tilted, it actually tilted in a little bit, and it probably wasn't that comfortable. The salesman probably told you something that it's some sort of it's a safety thing to prevent whiplash and things like that. And to his credit, that's actually true. But Toyota stepped up to the plate this year. We actually have what's called an active headrest. When you're sitting in the seat, the headrest is actually back so that you're comfortable. If you're in a collision, or if you're rear-ended, the seat has the technology to read the pressure from your back going into the seat from the collision, and when that happens, then the headrest will extend to protect you from whiplash. But since you're not in a car accident 100% of the time, most of the time you're just driving down the road, we wanted to make sure you were comfortable when that happens. And then in the unlikely event of a car accident, make sure you're still taken care of. All right, I'm going to step out here. We're going to walk around to the back. A couple of different things I want to talk about. Before I lift this up, something that's new is we have LED brake lights. One advantage to that is that one, they last longer. Two is that they take a little bit less energy, which is something that Prius is always about. And then one of the benefits is that they actually light up a half a second faster being an LED brake light. And the difference is that is if you're driving 40 miles per hour down the road, you put your brake lights on, the guy behind you is going to see him quicker, and they're going to be able to stop. They say half a second illumination is actually going to save about 10 feet. I don't know about you, but I've been driving down the road and seen a few accidents where the person was sliding up, and all they needed was probably 4 or 5 more feet to avoid the accident, but they didn't make it, right? So that's one of the differences. I'm going to lift the tailgate up. You'll notice how light it is. Don't have to put a lot of energy, and then you'll also notice how high. A lot of people, you know, depending on what car you should drive, you probably hit your head on your trunk a time or two. It's something you don't really have to talk about with the Prius. First feature I'm going to show you, full tonneau cover back, something that's installed in every Toyota Prius. If you have some things in the back, you don't want people to be able to look through your windows and see it. That's going to protect you there. And then another thing I want you to notice is that we've got a 60-40 split where if you can lay the seats forward, you actually have 39 cubic feet of cargo space in the back of a Prius. So if you're throwing your surfboard in there, or well, if you live in Alabama, probably not a surfboard, maybe you're throwing your snow skis. Well, I guess that doesn't work either. I don't know. Maybe in Alabama people throw their chairs in there and they're going to go tailgating for their favorite college football team, whatever the case is. Another thing I wanted to show you, right here you look underneath, we've got a little cargo area where you can put things in. People like to use this for valuables like maybe laptops, something that you don't want to be stolen. You can put it in there, run into the gas station and back out. You don't have to worry about people being able to see something in your seat. And really one of my favorite options here is that this piece actually comes out and you can turn it around and then reinstall it back into the car. You know, the kids, you pick him up from football practice, he puts his cleats down, he's got mud all over his cleats, all you got to do is toss him in there when he gets home, pull him out, wipe a washcloth over it, it's cleaned up, it's not an issue. And that's just one more thing that we like to talk about. I know it seems sometimes that Toyota goes, you know, above and beyond on all the little things, and that's really what buying a Toyota is all about, is that they're going to do a little more. All right, you follow me around. Sounds pretty simple, but I wanted to open up the gas cap here. Give you an idea. A lot of people hear the word Prius and they think electric car. I can't get one of those because I got to plug it in at my house, and my electric bill is going to go out of control. That's actually not the case. Toyota Prius takes 87 octane, nothing too serious there, and you don't have to plug it in. That's the technology of the hybrid synergy, the electric motor, and that's what we do. You actually don't have to plug the car in ever. Compared to a lot of the competition. I know you're asking yourself, why doesn't the competition do that? And to be honest with you, they just don't have the technology. Okay? I'm going to walk back over here to the front. I'm going to open the car up and we're going to step in for a second. Hey, do me a favor, shoot around to the side, jump in shotgun for me. Just wanted to jump in for a second. Fire the car up there. If you can kind of zone in here at the front, I want you to kind of see some of the lights. Everything's digital and illuminated. It says 5-minute consumption, you know, and you can track all the different things. And I've got these little buttons on the steering wheel here that allow me to hit the different buttons and show you the display. And you'll notice it's all lit up and it shows what I'm touching. If I want to change the radio station, it's in orange. I don't have to look down to see what I'm doing. I can keep looking ahead while I'm doing it. Another safety feature. And then I'm changing some of the display panels here to all the different settings so I can see what's going on. Am I using the electric motor? Am I using the engine? And I can try to pay attention to how I'm driving and how everything's going on. Just kind of give you an idea, you're going to see your basic controls here, AM, FM radio, CD player. As you come down, this button here is it's a filter inside the cabin. Filters out pollen, different things like that that come through the engine and through the filters. We want to protect our drivers and their family while they're driving with us. And then these three buttons here, EV mode, eco mode, and power mode. EV mode is electric vehicle. You're in traffic or you're just driving around, you know, downtown somewhere, and you need to make sure you're doing 15, 20 miles per hour. You can get away with that. Most of the time, the battery's got to have a full charge for you to go a long distance, but that doesn't use any gas at all. And then the eco mode is where most drivers are going to drive, which is, you know, might be speeding up, might not, but that's going to maximize your mileage. It also desensitizes your gas pedal so that you can't drive too aggressively. And then power mode is, I don't know, maybe you're hopping on the highway, you want to give it a little bit of gas, you hit it over in power, and gas pedal is going to be a little bit more sensitive. It's going to give you the ability to take off. Okay. Right here, the shifter looks a little different than what you're probably used to. We got an R for reverse, N for neutral, D for drive. Whenever you want to put it in reverse, you put your foot on the brake, go over to reverse, put you in reverse. Same thing if you want to go into drive, you do the same thing. The P button here is going to put you back in park. But you're going to notice the B, that does not mean back up. A lot of people think that, right? The B actually stands for regenerative braking. If you're going down a hill, you actually, instead of braking with the brake pedal, you just put it regenerative braking, you pull that back, it's going to slow you down a little bit, and that actually recharges the battery at the same time. Just one more added feature, and the reason we don't have to plug our cars in is because the car is built to recharge its battery while you're driving. Alright? If you want to shut that door there, we're going to take off for a little bit. I've got a half a tank of gas. We can go anywhere we want to. Where do you want to go? How about, let's go to the beach. Beach is about 300 miles from here. Half a tank should get us there and back, no problem. And we're ready to rock and roll. You guys have a good day.